You're tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blaske with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.
Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank. With the century of experience, you know you can count on us for convenient banking and personal service for people you know and trust. With extended hours and online banking for all your financial needs. Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank.
For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer. Since 1947, the staff at Bruna Implement Company works daily to provide the best parts and service when you need it, always dedicated to their customers. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations, and they know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. With locations in Marysville, Washington, Clay Center, Seneca, Hiawatha, and Humboldt, Nebraska. Stop by or give them a call today.
Welcome into the final edition of the TVL Rundown. It's been a heck of a year inside the Twin Valley League. We first off want to thank everyone for tuning in each week here to the Rundown. Me and Jeff Wurtz want to pass on our appreciation to everyone. Our also big congratulations to all the area athletes that made this sports season so memorable. The last sport we're going to talk about this season was state track. It was a heck of a weekend down in Wichita for the Twin Valley League, and we're going to start on the girls side. Looking at first place finishers, it was Emerson Fordham of Onega that took home champion in shot put. Sevy Wurtz of Clifton Clyde took home the long jump title. Lily Weiser of Onega took home the pole vault title, while the Hanover ladies team took home the 4x4 title, and the Centralia Lady Panthers took home the 4x1 title, all en route while breaking the state record there. And top finishers as a team, it was the Clifton Clyde Lady Eagles, a team of 4 that comes home with a first place finish in Class 1A. And I know we don't talk about Clifton Clyde a lot here on the program, but got to give them their kudos. And for everyone else too, not going to get into all the placings for the girls this year, but what a heck of a representation that it was this season down at state track.
It was a great year, and it pretty much puts a bow on what was an incredible year in the Twin Valley League. We saw so many big performances this year. That's the best thing you can say about it. You run out of words eventually with these TVL athletes. And again, this was just a microcosm of what 2025-26 has been about in the Twin Valley League.
When you mentioned it earlier, how many times each week did we either talk about or we see school records being broken, track records being broken, top in state? It was just an incredible season. And for the boys' side, it was a team we've talked about all year long. The Axtell Eagle boys come home with the Class 1A state title as they won their 4th straight track state title over there at Axtell. Landon Schmitz ends his career with a first place finish in the 110 hurdles, and the 4x4 team brings home the state champion. And again, not taking anything else away from all the other area athletes, but Axtell, I know we talked about them all season again, Jeff, but this was a train that just stayed on its tracks, and it ends with another state title.
And you see it each and every day, each and every time out. This is a focused school. This is a focused team. And here recently, man, it's hard to say that you're going to slow down that Axtell team. We have talked, though, this year, things are getting closer. You see some of those teams really gaining. And right now, yes, we can brag on Axtell as much as we can, but it's not going to, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get emails, Max. I'm going to get emails. It can't last forever because the rest of these teams are getting very, very good.
Well, and it's kind of like their streak that they had in football. We knew it was going to end at some point. It just depended on where. But competition breeds excellence, and in the Twin Valley League, that's exactly what you're looking for. And we were talking off air, Jeff, just about the excellence that the Twin Valley League had at last week's state meet. How many Twin Valley League athletes came home with a medal and a podium finish?
It was a crazy number, 50 53 I have. Just an absolutely insane number. Again, it's one of these things, you see this sport, and it maybe doesn't get said enough. This is where it begins. The school year ends, but the beginning of next year starts, and you see that in some of the mindsets of some of these students. And to go on top of great athleticism, smart kids, intelligent, and can focus. And I think that's where the spring sports really come in.
Well, and you lead me right into something we wanted to talk about and give our congratulations to. You mentioned about the smart kids that we have in the area. 10-plus area athletes are moving on athletic scholarships to continue their education and athletic career at the next level. And, every year we see kids that sign to go to places, but I think this year was pretty exceptional seeing the number of kids that at this point have signed to move on. And I think everyone's starting to realize the level of athletes and kids that we have here in the Twin Valley League. And
as sad as it is to see them leave the Twin Valley League, getting to see them on that next level is just, and I'm just an outsider looking in, but it really is pretty cool that I can say, hey, I saw this kid when they were 16, 17, 18 years old. And yeah, I knew, I could see it. It's heartwarming. It really is. And that's the best thing I can say, is it's really nice to know that these kids can come out of these schools and just tear up the world, whether it's sporting, whether it's in the business world. To see what they can do after this is remarkable.
And I think you bring up a good point there. Each week we've talked about athletics, but there are so many kids that are doing so many great things, extracurricular activities in the school, in their communities here in the Twin Valley League, that it cannot be overstated on what the impact they're going to have on their respective communities, on the world, as they move on to that next chapter of life. So our kudos to all of our area student athletes and everyone else that we've been able to cover this year here on the TVL Rundown. Of course, mentioned in the opening, this is our last week, so we're going to have some summer activities coming up. Jeff, I know you've got a few things on deck coming up here for the summer. What are those?
Well, I'm taking a little vacay to start with. We were talking about that off air. Give me 3 days. But anyway, my big project for this summer, I am creating the top 50 athletes, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to cut it off at 50, but hoping to get the top 50 athlete countdown up later on this month and give the top 50 athletes in the TVL in the 25-26 season. That's difficult, Max. I've tried this one other time, and it is one of the toughest things that I do, trying to narrow it down. I never get to 50. It's usually about 60 to 70.
You have that availability to add a few more in there when you need it, right?
Exactly. And when I'm editing the show, I can do whatever I want.
That's the best part about doing what you do and being able to do what we do here at the Rundown and with you two on the spotlight. One other thing we didn't mention, all league baseball and softball announcements are starting to come out, all state selections. Time of recording, we don't have all that information, but I know there's a lot of kids that were well deserving this year. Jeff, as always, where can folks find that information, as well as coming up your top 50 to 60 athletes of the year?
Head over to tvlspotlight.com. and also on the socials, TVL Sports Spotlight on both Facebook and X.
Again, it's been a heck of a year here inside the Twin Valley League. Just coming off the top of my mind, what, Jeff? We saw 6 state champions, I think, in the Twin Valley League this year.
6 state champions this year.
6 state champions in the Twin Valley League. So, it's been a heck of a year. Again, we thank you all for tuning in this year. We'll do it again coming up here in the fall. One last thing I did want to mention, KNDY will have the broadcast of the 8-man Division II All-Star Game next Saturday in Beloit. That game will be on FM 95.5. And real quickly, Jeff, there are 9 kids from the Twin Valley League playing in that contest, along with Nick Anderson of Frankfort and Trevor Kuhlman of Lynn Coaching. So I know that's always a big hot button topic and a last opportunity for those kids to put on the pads one more time.
And I will have full coverage of that game. That's one thing that I always love doing here at the end of the year. These guys getting their just desserts after quite a while after football season, getting that last time on the football field. And I know for the coaches, getting that last chance to get their hands on some of these seniors is a pretty remarkable feeling for them as well.
So be sure and check out the 8-man All-Star game next Saturday. Again, Jeff will have coverage of that, and we'll have live play-by-play on FM 95.5 starting about 1 o'clock next Saturday. Again, for Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Sports Spotlight, this has been Max Blaske of KNDY Radio all season long here on the TVL Rundown. Again, thank you all for tuning in all season long. A big congratulations to all the area athletes and students that made an impact in their school this year, and we'll see you again when the 2026-27 school year rolls around in the fall. You've been tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blaske with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.